Hey guys, John here from Tech Specs. In this video I'm showing you guys how to create a PC. So this is either if you guys want a Hackintosh, you just want to do a little bit of gaming, surf the web, whatever it may be guys, I'm going to show you guys how to build it. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So guys, for the components, I have various components. So as we can see, we have the Intel Core i3-3225. This is an Ivy Bridge CPU, so it's equipped with all the latest technology and all that good stuff. So that's pretty much it for the CPU. For the actual components, as you guys can see, there are some optionals and must-have components here. So we're going to go ahead and jump right on with the boot drive. We're using a Western Digital Caviar Blue, which is 500GB drive. We also have a storage drive, which is 1TB, and another 500GB storage drive. So guys, next up we have the power supply, which is a GTX 550. This is a really good power supply. I don't know if I'm going to be using it in this build. I might use my Thermaltake 430W power supply, but I'll decide that later on. So guys, graphic cards are completely optional depending on what you guys are going to be using your PC for, as long as DVD burners, but it's completely up to you. I don't want to show my real good graphic card because it's in my actual computer that I'm using right now. Anyway, here's the Thermaltake M9 case. This is a really good looking case, really nice. It's got the power reset button, some hard drive LEDs, USB 2.0. We got some headphone and audio options, and of course our DVD burner, which I installed beforehand. So guys, we're going to go ahead and flip the case over to the side and take the back panel off. So guys, once that is off, as you can see, this is where the cable management takes place. That's how we keep the case nice and tidy and everything. So I'll show you guys that a little later on. Guys, as you can see, the back of the case is really dusty. Again, up the top, we have the place for our power supply and our back panel I/O shield. And at the bottom, we have PCI Express slots for our graphics card if you guys are going to put this in the build. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for the back of the case itself. Let's go ahead and flip it to the side, guys. And as we can see, we have the Thermaltake N9, I believe it is, the side of the case. So we're going to go ahead and open the back door of it, and as you can see, there are all the hard drive bays and it looks really good. We have a blue Thermaltake LED fan and some options that go into our motherboard. Speaking of the motherboard, guys, we're using a GA-B75M D3H board from Gigabyte. This is a really good board, and overall I'm really happy with it. In the packaging, guys, we get some back panel I/O shields. Well, we get one, but either way, we also get some SATA cables. It comes with two, one right angled and one not. We also have some third-party SATA cables. If we look further into the packaging, we have the motherboard itself. I love this motherboard so much. It features things like USB 3.0, SATA 6 gigabits per second, which is of course SATA 3, PCI Express 3.0, and LGA 1155 Sandy and Ivy Bridge socket ready, if that even made sense. But anyway, guys, I really do like this board. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some close-ups of it. So it's not the nicest looking board, but it really does do the job, and no one's going to be looking in your case unless you guys want the purpose for that to be. But either way, guys, we have the RAM slots, some PCI Express slots. This board is a really nice board. The only downside I do have with it, which is the lack of heat pipes and heat sinks. It only has one tiny one, doesn't do a very good job. We have SATA 6 gigabits per second, of course SATA 3, and all that good stuff in this board. We also have some onboard third-party USB 3.0 connectors and all that good stuff, and we have our main 24-pin and our 8-pin for the CPU connector. So guys, let's move to the ins and out of this board, guys. We have USB 2.0, PS2, DVI, HDMI, VGA, USB 3.0, gigabit LAN, USB 2.0, and of course our audio in and audio out for our speakers and all that good stuff. For the RAM, I'm using some King's Mac 1300 megahertz RAM. It's pretty decent RAM, but right after this video I upgraded it to 16 gigabytes of RAM because I might be doing some light gaming and stuff, but I don't really know what I'm going to be using this PC for yet. So guys, the Intel Core i3 is what we're going to be using. This is an Ivy Bridge CPU, so it's a very decent CPU. It will do the job, of course. It can even do some gaming, believe it or not, depending on what GPU you have. Of course, we wouldn't use the dedicated Intel's graphics because of course it's pretty dodgy. Anyway, guys, we also have the heatsink that came with it, the stock heatsink. It's a very dodgy heatsink, so most people go with the aftermarket heatsink. So anyway, let's go ahead and open up the CPU, and as we can see, there is already thermal paste applied onto it, and that's because I already put this build together a while ago, and I thought I'd go ahead and do another unboxing of it. And as much as stupid as that sounds, I really needed more content on my YouTube video. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and we'll go open up our RAM slots. So As we can see, we have the RAM right there, and we'll pull back the 2 white pins, as you guys have just witnessed, and we're going to go ahead, align the RAM. It only goes in one way, and push down until you guys hear a click. So that's pretty much it for the installation of the RAM. So guys, let's jump in right into the CPU. Man, I suck with my grammar today, but either way, we're going to go ahead and take it out of the packaging. So be sure not to touch any of the pins on the front or the back of the CPU itself. And we're going to go ahead and open up the socket on the board itself. So as we can see, we have a small tab there. We're just going to pull it back up until the case lifts up, and we're just going to align our CPU in with the little tabs on the motherboard. It only goes in one way, guys, so don't be worried at all. And when you're pushing down the tab, if you guys hear some clicks and stuff, don't worry about it. As scary as it sounds, everything is going smooth and running well, and it normally does tend to do that. So guys, let's move on to the crappy cooler that came with the Intel processor. So we're going to go ahead and align it onto the motherboard. And I'm so sorry the camera is out of focus. I didn't really realize while I was recording. And as we can see, all the notches did align and click into the board correctly, and as you guys would expect and want them to do. So guys, let's go ahead and connect the fan. This is a really simple process. I'm sorry I couldn't show you guys on camera, but there's 3 pins, and I'm pretty sure anyone is capable of plugging in a connector. So guys, next up is the back panel I/O shield that came with the motherboard, and we're going to go ahead and install it to the PC itself. So guys, this is a really simple process. I'm sorry the camera was out of focus. These can put up a fight, but once they are done, it is looking pretty sweet and you are ready to put in your motherboard. So guys, let's go ahead and install our hard drive. So we're going to go ahead and open up the bay depending on how your case does it. So we're just going to slide it out of the bay and connect all 3 of our hard drives into the actual bay itself. So guys, once the bay is out of the case, we're going to go ahead and put it down, and we're going to start off with my storage drive, which is my 1TB Western Digital Caviar Green, and we're just going to slide it in and screw it in after. So guys, once that is done, I'm going to get my Western Digital Caviar Blue, which is my boot and my main drive. So once that is in, we're just going to align it in correctly, guys, and slide it right into the case. And then of course we'll do the same for our little laptop drive. So once that is done, we're going to go get our standard Phillips screwdriver, which is the only tool you will need for this build, and go ahead and screw in the actual screw, if that made sense, into the case. Once that is done, guys, we're going to go ahead and slide it right back into where we found it, and then we're just going to attach our small clip that came with it. So guys, let's go ahead and jump right into the motherboard. So we're just going to, of course, pick it up by the cooling fan, nothing else, and then screw in all the screws. I couldn't show you guys this on camera because it looked really dodgy and the lighting in the case was absolutely terrible, and I'm sorry about that. So guys, this isn't actually looking too bad at all, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out thus far. But we're going to go ahead and get the optional DVD burner and apply it to the case itself. So this is a really simple process. We're just going to get the standard Asus DVD burner, align it up with the case, and go ahead and slide it in. Once that is done, guys, and it is flush with the case, then you are good to go, and you are then able to connect the 2 Phillips screws that came with either the motherboard or the DVD burner itself. So it's pretty simple. We're just going to go ahead and align the screws. So guys, once that is done, we're going to go ahead and install the power supply. And I did go with the Thermaltake 430 watt because the other one, I wanted to keep it in my main build. So guys, we're just going to align it up and plug in or connect, or I don't know, all of our 4 screws. And once that is done, it is all connected. And now we have the jumble and the mess of spaghetti in the case itself. But to get rid of that, I just threw it behind the back of the case. And guys, I'm sorry that I couldn't show you this on camera, but we're going to go ahead and connect power to the motherboard and the CPU. So guys, I'm sorry that my big head got in the way, so I couldn't show you guys that, but it's pretty simple and it's just like a puzzle. After that, I'm going to go ahead and connect the SATA cable to the motherboard from the actual DVD burner itself. And after 20 minutes of jumping on the case and all that terrible stuff, I finally got the case to go on. So knowing my luck, of course the case just flipped off after, and it was a painful situation. So guys, this was completely not fast forward at all. I'm just really fast, and I plugged in all my back panel IO ports, and everything worked out really well. And overall, I am very impressed with how this computer turned out. It was a great experience. I really did like it. The case looks good. It works so good with my setup. Everything sounds, works well, and everything. In fact, guys, for this video purposes, I went ahead and I Hackintoshed this real quick, guys, and I edited this video actually on iMovie, and just to test out how it would render and all that stuff. And overall, it was a success. I went ahead and I went back into Windows. I put in a graphics card and I did a fair bit of gaming. With 16 gigabytes of RAM, I did of course upgrade, and I really did like the experience. It was a lot of fun to do. So thank you whoever requested this video. I'll have more content out soon, and please don't forget to hit the like button, share, and check out my other videos. I really appreciate it. See you guys. Peace.